the next thing that I highlighted was losing weight is not a game we play. It's not a challenge we take on to beat someone by losing more weight than she can. This is a lifelong attitude adjustment. This is not the hard work you have forced yourself to believe it is. Wellness is a choice to live a balanced life. And the hardest part of it is the first step. Like the acceptance of this is who I am. This is what I look like. These are the things that I'm dealing with. These are the reasons. Whatever I did, whatever choices I made, some I didn't make, but then if I knew I had this illness and then I just continued down the road and making these bad decisions, then that is still my fault. So all of that stuff we need to look at and say, okay, well, this is where I'm at. I can't change what has been done. I'm not going to change the future unless I change the present right now. So in order to live a healthier, hopefully longer life, I need to make changes now. So that first step, admitting that you did this to yourself. I did this to myself. It doesn't matter what the reasons were. It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't, because none of that is going to change. It still happened. And if it's trauma related, we need to deal with that though. Because I know I just hide everything. I stuff it in the corner, and I have this filing cabinet somewhere in the back of my head somewhere with all the stuff, and I always picture it like this row of filing cabinets in this dark little room, and they're almost to bust open with a bunch of papers and different things because there's so much stuffed in there. All of the things that have happened, all the things that I've done, all the things that I've said that I wish I never said or that I wish I would have said, all the questions I wish I would have asked someone that I no longer have in my life because they've passed away. But instead of looking at that and letting that bring me to a point of emotional eating or not eating at all because I feel bad, or keeping myself from doing those very things with the people I do have or with myself. So the hardest step is the first one. After that, I mean, I'm not going to say it's not hard because it's still hard, but it's not impossible. And find support. And like for me, my first go-to support is prayers to God through Yeshua, my faith. That's what keeps me going. And then I have my husband, and I have my family, and I have some amazing sisters in the Lord that tell me like it is. They don't let me lie to myself. And they'll call me out, and sometimes I don't like it, but I know they're doing it for my own good. So because I know that, because I'm willing to say, hey, when someone calls me out about something I'm doing or saying, whatever, to myself or to someone else, they're doing it because they love me. And if I love myself enough, I will listen, and I will take that advice, and I will do what I need to do. So the next thing that I highlighted was, when you catch yourself rebelling against starting a new habit because you think it's going to be too hard, I want you to hear those lies you are telling yourself. Let me tell you what is really hard. Not taking the necessary baby steps to regain your health, and that is what will keep you from living an active life. And then she shares about what an active life, because when we think about active lives, we think, oh, going hiking up like mountains, or running marathons, or all these things like that seem so extreme, right? That, oh, I'm never gonna be able to do that anyway. But that's not what she's talking about. Being active is being able to climb a flight of stairs and not like about passing out, being out of breath, or having so much pain in your knees because you're carrying too much weight. Even just to get out of your car, getting in the car, walking around the store just to do some simple grocery shopping. Those are the things that we're going to miss out on because we're not taking care of ourselves. Let's see, I got hair. I have castor oil on my face, so everything like sticking. I've been using that a lot, at least twice a day. I usually put it on in the morning, and then I put it on at night. And I know I've shared something about that before, and I'll share a little bit more in some videos where I talk about some of the things that I use, and just kind of share some of the day-to-day life stuff. And the next thing that I highlighted was, if you are not doing it for you, then it is a given that you are going to fail. And that seems so bad, because we think when we say, well, I'm going to do it for my husband because I want to be able to do things with him. I want to be able to, I don't know, just do it for someone else. Or if you have kids, you want to do it for your kids, which is all great. See, that's not a problem. The problem is we fail each other. So, okay, so let's say for me, for example, I don't have kids, but I have a husband. Well, so let's say I put all my effort into, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get healthier. I'm going to do whatever for him and him alone. Well, then one day he says something that hurts my feelings. Well, I'm never going to do this again. And I was doing this for you. And this is the problem. We fail each other. Like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to hurt someone. They're going to hurt me. And if we put all of our stuff on doing something for someone else, we're going to fail. Because a lot of times we say that in our head, I'm doing this for them. I'm not telling them, but I'm going to do it for them. They don't even know. They don't even know what's going on. And we need to do it for us. For a new habit to become automatic, we have to cheer ourselves on and not depend on the feelings or words from others. Like, it's great to have someone say, oh, you look good, or I'm so proud of you for doing all this stuff. That's wonderful. That is so encouraging and inspiring, and it's supportive, and it does help motivate us more, right? But what if we don't get that at all? Does that change what we're doing? Does that change how good it is and how wonderful the fact that we're even making those baby steps? Because they are hard. They're hard to do these things. It's not as hard as we make them to be, because it, like she said here, it is harder for us to live a life that's unhealthy, because we're going to deal with so much more than if we were just doing the baby steps to get better. Okay, so the next thing I highlighted is a labor of love to bless my life with a healthy body. The body clutter I have lost is just a side effect of my healthy eating baby steps. My goal was not weight loss. It was to live a healthier life. So that's how I had to look at it, because quite a few times that I've tried this in the past, throughout my entire life, my goal was to lose weight. My goal was to lose weight because then I would fit in, because then I would look better. People would not make fun of me or whatever. And then, of course, there was the other half of me that was like, I don't care, because if I look the way I do and I gain weight, then the weight is a shield from people coming and bothering me or whatever for other reasons, trauma reasons. So there's all this things that we have to work through. But these baby steps will change our attitudes about what we're doing, about being healthier, about the weight loss. It won't be about, oh, I'm going to look better, which, yes, you will look better. I mean, we know this, but that's not the reason. Are you going to feel better? That's what matters. And you know, the minute, like, I mean, so far, I think from where I was at my highest, I did a weigh-in the other day and I didn't write it down. I think I lost about, give or take, 40 to 42 pounds altogether. And I can feel it. Yeah, I could see it a little bit. I don't see it as much as maybe someone else that hasn't seen me in a while and saw me back then. But I can feel it. I feel, I don't know, like lighter, I guess I should say. Like, I just don't feel so heavy. Like, it's a, you know, the pain I have is still there, you know, fibromyalgia, arthritis and whatever, but I'm not putting as much strain now that I'm down this weight. So once I get another 42 pounds down, and you know that just baby steps. It is all about being kind to yourself and not piling on more than you can do. So that's why the baby steps. So the first baby step can just be, I'm aware of it. I'm going to work on my attitude. I'm going to work on what is the one thing I know I can do. So if you don't drink enough water, start drinking more water. If you don't exercise at all, let's say you haven't done anything, well, just start walking. Once you get that habit and you're starting to walk more and more and more, then you can get into find a workout you like. If you like to dance, find a workout that you like to do. There's so many things on YouTube. There's so many things online. There's so many things that we could do, and make that a baby step. Your eating habits. What I did is when I used to try to diet, I would take out everything. I can't have any of this. It was that I can't. You better not have it. So when I did, I would beat myself up about it. So this time around, and actually even the last time that I did this, my goal is to add better food in, and that'll eliminate the stuff that is not good for me. So I'm not going to say, no, you cannot have a candy. No, you cannot have a donut or a muffin or whatever, or chips, whatever it is that I know were my bad habits, was chips. And I would have candy every once in a while, but it wasn't that often. But it was still, if I said I couldn't have it, then I wanted it, so I just started adding in better food, and I found all these things that I like that replaced that stuff. So like for chips, for instance, because that's like my weakness. I love potato chips, but potatoes bring up blood sugar. So plus there's all kinds of other things in a lot of potato chips, right? So I kept thinking, well, with high blood pressure, sodium. So I started shopping at Sprouts when we moved out here, which has been almost 5 years. And there's a lot of stuff there. I was like, I have no idea what any of this is. Well, I found these beet puffs. They're plant-based and everything, vegan. I can't remember. I think they're Rob's or Bob's or something brand. When I get some again, there's cauliflower puffs and beet puffs that I love. When I get some again, I will share those in a haul, which I still haven't done. And that's there's a whole reason for that, that I'll share in another video. But those things replace the chips, because I love the crunchy. So I do that, and pickles is another thing I love. So that was good. That was another one that can replace that stuff. So it's just replacement of things, not looking at it like I can't have these things, but I love these things. Let's start bringing more of this in. So then if I'm eating that, I don't have room for this other stuff. And then I just stopped buying a lot of that stuff because I was buying this other stuff that I liked.